Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Charlie and this is Good Prayers, and we are back for July, but first let's start with our June flip through. So if you joined me last month, June, we were away on holiday, so the setup was slightly different. It was more of a memory keeping travel journal. I set up the spreads with my usual monthly calendar and a step tracker instead of my habit tracker, and I made these cute little jet planes out of the washi tape shop mosaic tile washi, and I also used my Instax Polaroid camera throughout the trip to add photos for each destination. But it also meant that I finished my journal, so we are on to journal number 2 for 2025. And I did do a little bit more of a setup just to get that last week of June in there. So I recreated the cover page just using the washies, edited my scriptures and my weekly log. But now it is time for July. So grab a cup of tea, get cozy, or grab your supplies and let's journal. For my theme this month, I'm going back to my TOMBOW brush pens, so the numbers are there and they'll be down below, and we're going for a cozy floral gingham pattern this month. I really wanted to challenge myself to be a bit more creative and not rely on paintings or washies as heavily this month, so I have used these cute wintry colours, but they're still a little bit warmer, and we are going for a kind of poppy-esque, pansy-ish kind of floral, which I sketched out first and then I have gone over with the 665. I wanted to do a purple base theme this month because while we were away I bought some Lamy inks and I got the purple ink for my fountain pen, which I was really excited to try, but I didn't really know how to tie it in. And so because I had the Tombow pen to match, I thought it would be a really good way to create a theme around that. So that was what inspired this month. And while we were away, we went to Venice, which was amazing. Have been before, but this was the first time that we actually went to Murano and Burano. And Murano is famous for the glass blowing and glass works and factories, whereas Burano is for the lace work. So I really wanted to get a glass dip pen, and I used that with the gold ink. However, this was almost like it was like gold leaf turned into an ink, so it was actually quite hard to use. I've used some of my Ferris wheel press inks with the pen and it works and writes really well. I think this ink just wasn't quite the right one, so I did end up having to use my paintbrush, but it just added a really nice touch to it as well, and it was so fun to use. Now this is the purple ink in my Lamy, and that is the Safari Fountainpen, which has just been such a great pen and is my go-to day to day. Usually I have black ink in it, but this month I have purple. So that is the cover done, and just adding a little bit more of that gold for some final touches. But it's such a stunning gold. And a few final details to the flowers to add some line work to that. Moving on to the monthly spread, and I am just loving the full calendars at the moment. I think it helps me to be able to visualize and see things more clearly. So again, bringing in that gingham background, I just use the washi to mask off the edges of my calendar and just use that as a frame so that the calendar itself would be nice and crisp and white. This month we are using a Boku bullet journal that I did actually get on Temu. I wanted to give it a go and see what it's like, so that has got the crisp white 160 GSM pages. And then I also incorporated some of these little colour patches to kind of make a bit of a patchwork of the calendar to tie in with the gingham, which I actually really like, and did play around with the placement and colours of those a little bit before I settled on the final design. I did go back and just update the page because I realised that July didn't need the extra days, so instead of just having blank white space, I wanted to colour that in. And did accidentally knock over my gold ink, but I managed to salvage most of that, so that was good. Next is my monthly dashboard and my gratitude page, and I did actually flip the order of these. So normally my gratitude would be on the right and my dashboard on the left, but because I wanted to use this Atelier design month-long memos that I've got down on that bottom right, I decided to make that a full page, because I'm gonna trial those as my habit trackers for this month. I found them in I think I got them in the Singapore airport in Changi, so really cute, and wanted to use those. I did end up going back over the flowers with my white gel pen to add a bit more detail, and that just helped the flowers stand out a bit more. So I did go back to the cover in the previous pages just to add those details as well once I'd finished setting up this page as well, and adding in a little bit of green stalk. Now I do apologise, the colour changed as the sun had gone down. Moving on to the next spread, which are my scripture pages, and I'm going to keep these ones simple just so that I can use the most writing space available, and again using the flowers and also a little beige checker pattern underneath those just to leave as much open space as possible. For the titles this month, I've used this Safari Fun script, which has all been done with the purple Lamy. The second scripture spread I just used that purple watercolour washi, just keep it nice and simple. The final spread that we're doing is my first weekly setup, and I wanted to incorporate again that pattern, but just use that on the side where I might do some of my journaling and my logging, whereas the right hand side is going to be that weekly dash with my meals and key events for the week. Now let's do that final flip through. I am so happy with how all these colours came together. I don't think the video gives it justice. The lighting obviously changed as the sun started to set, but I'm so in love with these flowers and the gingham pattern with my dashboards, my scripture pages and my weekly setup. I am already in love with this theme and know that it is going to get a lot of use this month because it just makes me so happy. So thank you so much for joining me, and hope that you love this theme just as much as I do. But happy journaling, happy July,